It was awesome.
After you watched it, what do you think?
It was like reading Spider-Man.
Reading it?
Yeah, like that was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That is like,
He was always put in those situations where it's like, well, should I go with my
mm-hmm.
help somebody or should I
Oh yeah.
be a cool dude?
So he always had troubled social life because of that.
Right.
He'd always have to bail out on his friends to go do stuff. It was always the thing. It was and yeah, it was. There's a lot of cool little.
Did you get all the Easter eggs? All
I
the
got
license plates and names and
all the license plate stuff, but there's some. I mean, there's some pretty obvious ones. Like, there's the part where the building collapses on him.
Yep, that was a
And
scene
there's
from the book.
The hymn where he lifts it up. That's a very famous scene from the books.
And the dual face of, like, he sees a Spider-Man mask and then
Yep.
his face in the reflection. He sees that.
They still use that to this day. And, like there's I think we talked about it where there's the Miles Morales hint from
Donald Glover plays his
Donald
uncle.
Glover. Yep, Aaron Davis, who's the Prowler, and it says that too on the little. There's a little makeup of who he is, and then in the corner it says Prowler.
Yeah, and his rap sheet. Or
yeah.
the thing that is embedded into
This
Peter's
little
suit.
visor thing,
Yeah.
yeah. And that was cool, and that's just cool because Donald Glover was the partial inspiration for Miles Morales. Because there's that whole fan campaign to get for him to play Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man series, and then in an episode of Community, Dan Harmon put him in some Spider-Man pajamas and shit, and then Brian Michael Bendis, who wrote Ultimate Spider-Man, saw that, and that combined with himself having biracial children and whatever, formed the inspiration for Miles Morales. And then Donald Glover even voiced Miles Morales on the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon show that was out for a while as well. And then seeing him in that,
Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
huh?
Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon was pretty good.
Yeah, it grew on me. At first, I wasn't a big fan. I wasn't huge into it, but it started growing on me through it to the end. Now they're, of course, since Marvel's got the movies and stuff, now they are relaunching a new Spider-Man cartoon, but which Miles is supposed to play a part of, and Miles is even in the teaser trailer for that new Sony Spider-Man game too that's coming out.
Who is?
Miles Morales.
Awesome. Well,
At
we're
the
definitely
end
gonna
of
be
the
playing
trailer or whatever, they show like the crowd watching or whatever, and they're just like, there's a dude filming and they're like, "Hey Miles, come on!" And he's like, "Oh, I'm coming" or whatever, and turns around. But yeah, seeing him getting to interact and
You can
do
put
with
in that
something
drive.
that has to do with the character he helped inspire was kind of cool.
That is really sweet.
Well, yeah, there's which my buddy, fucking Wilson pointed out.
You know Wilson
You
from
know
our
Wilson.
D&D campaign.
Yeah.
He is our DM.
That there's a bunch of scenes where there's a girl in the background who's wearing all black and has white hair.
That's Cat.
That could be like the Black Cat type thing, Felicia Hardy.
Meow.
But I mean, same time Sony's got their black and white movie, but they're not going to be in the same. This is frustrating to me.
I can tell. You're just like,
So Sony,
you're bursting.
so Spider-Man is shared with Marvel, and that's Marvel Cinematic Universe. But Sony still has, the rights to all the other Spider-Man characters, so they're going to do Spider-Man
All of them?
universe movies. Yeah.
I
All
want
of
to
them.
interrupt, Brodsho.
What up?
But this sword is for you. It's the Doji sword.
It's the Doge sword. It is.
Doge.
It's the Doge sword. But
Is that
he
an
like
actual term?
he
Doge is an actual term.
Yeah. Don't know what it means, but
they
probably.
so they
Doge
have.
is Duke for it's Venetian for Duke.
Oh, okay. Which is also a dog name.
Yeah, that's the mayor.
Circular.
Duke the dog's the
Oh,
mayor
yeah,
of that one
Duke
town in
British.
Minnesota.
Yeah, and Bush's baked beans.
Yeah.
But so Sony's got, all the Spider-Man movie rights. That's why Marvel had to do it with Sony because Sony owns Spider-Man. So Sony's still gonna do Spider-Man universe movies that have no connection to Spider-Man.
So why doesn't Sony just do Ultimate
So-
Spider-Man then?
They're doing an animated Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales.
Okay.
But other than that, they're doing what was it called, Silver and Black or whatever.
Black and white. Is
Black
what
and
you
white,
said.
yeah. Black and Silver, whatever it is. That's a Silver Sable Black Cat movie for some reason.
Because we all love those characters.
That's not gonna. If that happens, it's happening.
It's just gonna be a throwaway to be like, hey,
It's not
we
gonna
gotta
be
we gotta put a bunch of cameos in this movie.
and then they're
I never
doing.
remember Silver Sable until someone's like, "Oh yeah, Silver Sable," and then
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh yeah, Silver Sable's a thing."
Yeah, and everyone's like, what was Silver Sable again?
yeah, remind me.
I don't remember.
No, really,
Exactly.
remind me, please.
She's, I think she's Russian. I don't know.
Awesome. That's all I need to know.
She's something.
I
She's
kind of remember her being Russian in the '90s
assassin
cartoon.
something.
She's an assassin.
I don't remember. I read Spider-Man and I don't remember.
Yeah. The only like comic book femme fatale that's coming to my mind is what's her fuck from Batman with the red cat print tattoo. Can't remember what her name. She was Russian too, I think.
Talia al Ghul.
Not Talia. They did a whole episode in the animated series where like it was
I don't
her
remember.
against Catwoman.
I don't remember.
Shit, I'm gonna look.
Harleen Quinzel.
And then they're also doing that Venom movie.
Yeah, with Tom Hardy.
With Tom Hardy, but again, not connected to Spider-Man at all.
Maybe he's gonna be a cameo though.
But they're not because Marvel. Marvel does not want Spider-Man to be anything outside of their control. So that's not gonna. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be really weird.
Do you know what I would like to actually see, since you brought up Batman and Femme Fatales and stuff? I want to see a Mask of the Phantasm remake.
They just did a remastered Blu-ray that's coming out.
Well, I'm gonna get that for
Yeah,
sure.
That's fantastic.
I want them to make a Criterion
Get it.
Collection too of it, where they
Right?
have like all the bonus stuff
Oh,
and like
that'd
awesome
be beautiful.
comics in it.
They're doing a new. I don't know if we've talked about it, but they're doing a new movie in the Batman animated series style with Kevin Conroy and Lauren Lester, who were
And
obviously
Mark Hamill.
Batman and Robin.
Mark Hamill.
No.
Whatever her name is.
Can you zoom in on her?
I'm gonna call her Crimson Canada
Who
because
the
she looks like she has a maple
is
leaf on
that?
her shirt.
Yeah, I remember her. I don't know who the fuck she was though.
I don't either. Like I don't remember what her deal was.
Can we get a list? Is there a name?
Look up there. Black Mask. Oh, never mind. There's tags up there. Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Killer Croc, Livewire,
No,
Red Hood, Hush,
no.
Poison Ivy, Catwoman,
Was it like Rouge or some shit like that?
Red Claw.
Red Claw. Yeah, I don't remember her. I remember visually her, but I don't remember her.
I'm the Russian.
Red Claw.
I'm the Red Claw.
Vidania.
That just means goodbye. Doesn't it?
Agility, martial arts master, peak human physical condition.
That sounds like Batman.
I mean, fine, Batman. But the movie is called it's like Harley's Day Out or some shit like that. And it's Batman and Nightwing teaming up with Harley.
Oh.
And
Just to get Margot Robbie back, or
No.
is this not a?
No.
It's not a thing.
It's they didn't even go with like casting Tara Strong either, which is weird because Tara Strong's the new. Goddamn.
My God.
This is some top quality art right here.
Tara Strong
Those
took over
perspectives.
for Arlene Sorkin
3 penises.
as
Red rockets.
They have
as
over 9,000 penises.
but Arlene Sorkin was the one who originated Harley Quinn. She retired from it many years ago. Tara Strong took over, but in this, it's one of the female.
Do your best, Harley.
One of the
Do it.
female. No, one of the female cast
it.
members from Big Bang Theory.
Bazinga?
No, it's the blonde girl,
The tiny blonde one.
tiny blonde one with the glasses.
Yep. I know what you
She's
mean.
doing Harley,
Yeah.
and she doesn't sound bad. They've
Do your
got
best, Harley.
trailers. No, they've got trailers for it.
Mr. J,
Now you.
Mr. J, it's your pudding. Don't you want to ride your Harley?
Now you. Now you. Just
Should
do
I
it.
just do it. The grizzled, like fucking.
Don't
Harley.
say, "Don't you want to ride your Harley?"
Mr. J, don't you want to ride your Harley?
She has like a Brooklyn like.
It's like
I'm a
Dr.
cool-
Mrs. the Harley,
Yeah. God damn it.
which is another great show that I'm sick of waiting for the new season. How
Yeah.
long has it been?
Venture
3
Bros?
fucking years?
Yeah.
What,
4
Venture-
years?
What, Venture Brothers?
Yeah,
They gotta find
that
a good story
inherently-
arc.
they do.
That inherently takes forever.
It does, but this wait has been way more than like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5.
I like the last one because they played on the Tony Stark like high rise and like all the Avengers.
Well, they've always played on
found
Doctor Strange.
They've always played off of other heroes like arcs and like other
Heroes are
story
classic,
beats.
like Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Yeah, they started with like Johnny Quest,
Well, it's all like pulp shit.
and then they did like
It's the stuff Doc Hammer grew up with.
Mhm.
And the overall story is just like failure. Stories of failure. Everyone,
yeah,
they
Scooby-Doo.
try real hard and then they just fail. And how it's all about how they have to deal with that failure. And
right off the bat, the kids die.
Yeah, first season just. But just tell everyone else that when the kids die, they didn't die.
Yeah, that's all you have to do.
They didn't die.
Nope, they didn't die. I didn't see
I
it.
fucking love that episode though, and Hank and Dean's slugs just come wandering in, and Venture's just
Oh.
like,
That's so freaky.
Hank, what did I tell you about calling me a crumb bomb? And it's just like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, Orpheus was always a play on Doctor Strange.
yep.
Orpheus, and then they did
the whole
Scooby Doo.
one.
Yep.
What the fuck did the dog say? I'm just gonna bring the video up
Okay, do it.
because I want to hear that dog.
That and other more adult cartoons. I'd like to see more of like on Cartoon Network, like more Batman. I'd like to see
They
even.
tried. They did Beware the Batman back in 2000.
I don't want to watch Brave and the
11.
Bold. I don't want to watch.
No, it wasn't that. They did
Sunny and Groovy.
You are the man chosen by the master.
they
The best.
they
Patty Hearst analog too. And Hitler. You can't kill Hitler. I love Hitler.
The dog.
the dog. Yeah. They did a
Brodsho, can you toss me those tissues?
They did a serious computer animated Batman series. I think it was 2011 or 2013.
So they tried.
Called Beware the Batman, but toy sales weren't there, so.
Mm.
And
If they just brought back animated series.
I rehire Bruce Timm
That-
and his crew.
well, Bruce Timm is I don't know if he's still, because he was, and then I thought he left,
We
but he's
need
still
Paul
very
Dini.
involved.
Just need Paul Dini.
Because he was originally the head of DC Animation, was Bruce Timm. But I don't know if he still is, because I seem to have thought that he left, but he still does a lot of shit for him, so I don't know what that deal is. But Bruce Timm's still around. But they're doing the animated
Got the
movies.
best vision for
They're doing the animated
DC
movies.
animated.
And then they're doing yeah, I don't know, this Batman, they do have that Justice League series out now that I forgot about. I don't know if it started or not. Justice League Action with Kevin Conroy back as Batman.
Did they get Mark Hamill?
Yeah.
Nice.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do just a straight up Batman animated series after
Can't
They're-
spell Mark Hamill without Arkham.
Arkham.
They're done with the Arkham games,
Yeah.
from what I see.
Well,
I still
Hamill's-
have 100%ed Arkham Knight. I
Neither
wanna see
have I.
what the ending is to that.
Yeah, so do I. I'm trying
I
not
haven't
to.
even looked it up.
I haven't even
I
either.
don't want to spoil.
I don't want to spoil either. I want to achieve that because I want to be the best detective.
I want to
do
be
you-
the best detective.
What are you looking for right now?
Right now?
Yeah. I'm doing the
I'm-
clues.
Oh, for actual like missions and stuff.
Yeah,
I just have all the Riddler shit to finish up.
that's all I do too.
Yep.
I got all the DLC stuff done, even though I didn't have to do those,
Yeah.
but I wanted to.
That was fun.
Yeah, I
And
liked it.
Arkham Knight was actually a really fun game. It just took them forever to get it optimized for PC.
True.
Like,
I have it on download for PS4.
oh, I had to wait like a year and a half for the PC version to be in a playable state. But it was worth the wait. Rocksteady, you outdid yourselves. And I hope you guys make more Batman games. It doesn't
More
have to be
Batman.
Arkham. Just make some more Batmans.
Yeah, do
They
more
will.
Batman, do Nightwing, do Robin, do Joker, a Joker one. That was
It
fun.
was so much fun to play as in the like beat 'em up game modes.
Yeah.
That's a movie coming down the line too. Is they're doing a Nightwing movie.
Yes.
They're also doing a Batgirl movie that's going to be directed by Joss Whedon.
And you looked down. You looked down when you said Joss Whedon. I saw
You
that.
know how I
The
feel.
body language there.
Just Whedon.
You know
Sean
how I
shaking
feel.
his
I hope
head.
you guys could hear my head shake.
Your head shaking. Your hair was blowing.
Yeah. You know how I feel.
It's just
I don't hate him. I just don't.
I don't like him, but I don't hate him.
Yeah.
I think he's.
It's a love-hate relationship without the love.
Yeah. I feel like he's just a virtue signaler, you know? Like he's not.
But at the same
Like,
time, like
sincere.
he caught so
and
much
he
shit.
caught so much flack because internet feminists are just like cannibalistic. Like, you know what I mean?
Explain
nothing-
the
Well, it's just
issues
the internet.
with,
and
with him.
it's internet culture in general.
Yeah,
the
but
internet. The internet
it's-
eats itself.
It's much worse with like internet feminists. Like, I got nothing wrong with feminism. Everyone should be fucking equal. But internet feminists, they're more like female supremacists.
It's the cult of outrage. What you're talking about.
It is. It's a cult of outrage, and it's just people
The echo
virtue signaling
chamber.
harder. Echo chamber, virtue signaling. It's just all that like insincere bullshit that like
He's
want
kind of
portray themselves as like caring, like perfectly good, like paragons of humanity when anyone that thinks different to them they just devour. And
Yep.
it's
Even if somebody has an opposing
But-
opinion, they shut it down and say that you're a sexist, misogynist, asshole.
And you saw
Arguments
there
are
was kind of
invalid.
that.
yeah,
End of conversation.
Yeah.
We can't talk about this.
facts
We can't
are
have
sexist.
we can't have a civil conversation about it.
There was kind of some of that backlash when they announced fucking that Whedon would be doing Batgirl. There's like everyone's like, oh, the guy who did Buffy is doing Batgirl.
Hey, Buffy's cool.
And well, yeah. So you
Buffy was
think
a comic.
everybody's like, yeah, but then like, but then they're like, oh, so we've got a man directing a movie about a woman, like,
Yeah, look at Wonder Woman.
yeah, like stuff like, and it's just like, come on, dudes, like,
Get Catherine Bigelow back in the seat.
It's
It's
just
not
back
a
in the.
competition.
No.
We're all in this fucking together, so
if there's anybody who's tried to accurately portray women in fucking media, it's Joss Whedon. Sure, he fucked up with Black Widow and fucking Age of Ultron, but cut the guy some slack. He did Buffy, which was big for.
What? How do you feel about the Bechdel test thing?
What do you mean?
That
If-
I feel like it's just completely arbitrary.
it's very arbitrary. That's what my thought is. It's like you're wanting to abide by these criteria over making a great movie.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that?
You know what the Bechdel test is, Brodsho?
I've heard it brought up a bajillion times.
It's where if
From
you have
everything,
female
yeah.
characters in your movie and they have to talk about something besides like men or boys, relationships.
A female lead that has nothing to do with the male lead, that boosts the male lead. So women that have a purpose.
But immediately I have a problem with that because every character should boost the other characters.
You should work as a
Period.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should all play off each other.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The Bechdel test is very arbitrary for filmmaking, but I can see like people like to put it as like a video game and movie criteria.
I think it's a dumb thing for video games too.
And yeah, that's the thing.
Any
It's
kind of storytelling, it's just arbitrary. It's just throwing arbitrary things in your story to make it whatever, like politically correct or whatever.
Oh, we got a trailer for was it The Shape of Water or whatever the fuck?
Guillermo
it's
del
called?
Toro.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
That looks tight.
Unless
It looks like
worlds-
Hellboy.
Abe Sapien?
Abe Sapien.
Yeah.
It does kind of, but well, I mean, he looks different. But it is Doug Jones,
Dougie Jones.
who was Abe Sapien.
You mean Dougie Jones?
Dougie. Not Dougie Jones. Not Dougie.
Here's something completely off.
Hello.
That I would like to see make a resurgence. Looney Tunes shorts.
Yeah.
Like, sweet. They have to quit trying to make Looney Tunes like movies and full-length TV shows. Just do the like 5-10 minute shorts like you guys did in the 40s and the 50s and the 30s and whatnot.
It doesn't work as well anymore. I mean,
With today's demographic, where people's attention
Fast
spans
and
are just
Short,
like,
yeah. I mean, DC did do that for a while too, where they had shorts on stuff.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Like it could.
It would be the
It could
same
work, but-
formula. I mean, all they did back then, they made fun of popular culture all the time in those old
Yeah.
Looney Tunes. They can do the same thing today.
Right. Yeah, because any attempts they've done have just been long form, like they did the Looney Tunes show. Well, the Looney Tunes show,
back
I don't
in
think was
action.
even like full. No, they did like a Looney Tunes show like a few years
they're
ago.
bringing back
Yeah,
Rocco.
where they were all like living in the same apartment. It was like Seinfeld as Looney Tunes.
Kind of, yeah.
And I never watched it, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it was good.
They had I saw one thing from it. It was like a 5-second clip.
But I
of
think those
Daffy
weren't.
swooping in.
I think
in a
those were only like
helicopter.
15 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Just because like a lot of that stuff is now, where it's just like boom.
but I like the classic one-offs. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude. Well, and the reason why we had those was because they play them before movies.
I'd still watch a
We should
Roadrunner.
start doing that up again.
I would watch a Roadrunner.
Oh,
show.
dude.
Classic.
Parents would get so pissed about Roadrunner these days.
I
Wile E.
love.
Coyote and Roadrunner.
I just love the silence of Roadrunner, where you can just watch action and that's
Right.
it. There's no talking.
It's just meep meep.
It's just.
And then music. And
Oh, no,
sound
they were
effects.
22 minutes long. I lied.
What do you think about the new Rocco's Modern Life?
I'm excited.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's all the original like actors and like writers and shit and director.
It's supposed to be like a short movie.
It's the
Yeah, it's a
story is
TV
supposed to be
movie.
like. Is it time travel or is Rocco just like really nostalgic for the 90s?
He's in like hibernation, and he wakes up in the
In the
2000s
present
now.
days,
Yeah.
and he's like,
This isn't the 90s.
"This isn't the 90s."
Yeah, I think it's just them adjusting to modern day. But like, yeah, it's the shit. What's it called? It's called something. Rocco's Modern Life.
Rocco's nostalgic life.
No, there's
Rocco's
a-
Modern Age or something.
There's a title to it. I just posted it today. Or
My enter
yesterday.
key isn't working. Yeah, there's a teaser trailer.
Static Cling. That's
Yeah, you've not seen it? Okay.
Oh, really? Because it's pretty much just what you said.
Yeah, it's in the modern age, so you're right on the.
Well, you're
I
like,
thought you
hey, we're not in the 90s anymore. They literally say that.
Fellas? Yeah? I don't think we're in the 90s anymore.
Slammo.
Hummer.
Modern Life.
Got the B-52s.
And it's all just like classic Rocco stuff too, but
Are they just tweaking on energy drinks?
they're like a Starbucks, Buzzbucks.
Big whoop. I just got the new iPhone 9. This is a phone? But where are all the buttons?
It's ready to get slammered.
Whoa,
Mutated. Kills Rocco.
Oh no!
My old job. Where's the door? Where are the comics?
There's a 3D printer.
Whoa! This food truck sells pizza tacos! I got a wiener taco! I got a taco!
Turn the page. Wash your hands. Turn the page. Wash your hands. First you turn the page, then you wash your hands.
Oh god, Grimdark really, really big man. Yeah.
So realistic.
I love how they're making fun of everything nowadays. It's like if the 90s showed up today, they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Reboot. Oh god.
Cursor. Oh no. All this stuff is so like prolific.
Yeah.
Just like.
Oh, the
Cameras.
surveillance state. That's some creepy shit.
The 21st century is a very dangerous century.
Oh, they got that catchphrase or the
Static
trope.
Cling. That's what it's called. Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling.
That's great. I'm excited for it.
Right?
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It sounds just bittersweet too.
I just love that everything's just getting redone now. Like literally everything.
this one has a
Don't.
this one has a
Well,
good
exactly. Like it's like why a lot of it. I do like the why the fuck are you bringing this back? This is stupid.
Let's get some new shit going.
But,
But
yeah.
at the same time, it's like
It's like we have
I
the
grew up
audience
with
with that. Yeah.
I'm excited to see just because like it'll bring me back to the 90s and my growing up with Rocco and then being like, yeah, if I was that age nowadays, that's how I would react to what today is like now.
Right.
Like they did so much with just that trailer because they basically remade the intro of Rocco's Modern Life but elongated it and made it more modern.
Right. I mean, like you look at it, we have fucking, X-Files, Twin Peaks, fucking Will and Grace is coming back, fucking Roseanne's coming back, fucking Full House.
Didn't
Fucking-
Dan die at the end of it?
You can.
In her
There's
mind,
always a way,
for some weird reason.
but everybody,
Last season was a dream.
everybody's coming back for that too. So
Sarah
I think
Chalk?
both of them, yep. Yeah, it's different. Sarah Chalk's gonna be somebody else, but yeah, she's not gonna. Well, the original Becky's gonna be Becky.
Oh.
Sarah Chalk's gonna be somebody else.
Are they gonna do like a? They better do like a Fresh Prince style joke when they had the change in
Right?
Vivians.
They did that.
They
on
did
the
that in the
actual
show.
too.
Did they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they walked in like when they switched back Becky's because
Yeah.
the other Becky came back after Chalk was Becky.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So then
It's been
they
so
made-
long since I've seen Roseanne.
they made a referential joke about it. They broke the fourth wall kind of and said
Yep.
they laughed about it.
Fucking
It
yeah.
was fun.
Full House. Fucking Samurai Jack. Fucking
Finally
Powerpuff
got
Girls
around to
came
watching
back.
the last
Fucking
episode
Power
of
Rangers are
Samurai
back.
Jack.
Well, Power Rangers were always Power Rangers.
The
never left.
the Mighty Morphin.
Well, Mighty Morphin. Yeah.
Finally caught the last episode of Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I've missed like half of it. I have to watch.
Dude.
I have to go back because I was in the middle of watching shit.
You watched Castlevania?
Sweet.
Yeah,
Castlevania's
I watched that last
fucking
night.
cool.
Let's talk about Castlevania.
I watched it last night. It sucks that it was only 4 episodes.
Sucks that there was only 4 episodes,
That
but I want to
420
end a
I was
fucking
at-
internet argument right fucking now.
Do it.
Because I'm sick of seeing it. So many people are saying it's anti-fucking Christian because like the bad guy's a bishop. I was like, no, he's just fucking. He's a corrupted official. It's like a
Yeah.
trope.
He says
and
that they
sort of
say that
shit.
when they get into that church, they're like, "You can't come into a house of God." And he's
Yeah,
like, "God's not here."
abandoned you. You
Yeah.
fucked him over, man.
Yeah.
And if you find towards the end of the season or whatever they call it, the bishop is actually talking to a demon.
Yeah. And there's like 2 big things that prove that God is still around and still loves his people. The priest that's able to make the fucking holy water when
Yep.
the demons are attacking.
Trevor
And-
tells him to do that.
Yeah, he's like, are there any real priests here? And he's like, I'm a real priest, and he makes the fucking holy water, and it
Yep.
hurts the demons. And his fucking whip, it's still sanctified.
Yep.
It still makes demons explode.
Yep. He even says that.
That effect was awesome when he whips one in the
like-
face and his face
Yeah.
just blows up like Akira, just like.
That was cool as shit.
Yeah. And I was like, well, if there's gonna be 4 episodes, I was expecting them to be like 45-minute episodes.
I was too.
Same here.
22-minute episodes. I was like, ah. But it was awesome.
I got enough of it and I watched it twice.
Fucking, you realize who Alucard is?
Yeah.
James Callis.
Oh, the
Yeah.
actual actor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
actor is James Callis. Yeah.
I thought you were
Fucking
doing
the
a
guy,
video
Gaius
game-
Baltar.
I thought you were doing a video game quiz.
Oh.
I hope you guys
And
know who Alucard
fucking
really
Dracula's
is.
son.
And fucking Richard Armitage.
Yep, and Graham McTavish.
Graham McTavish, yeah, dude. They got to. Oh my god, that like, just being someone who's read a lot. The guy, because Warren Ellis, comic writer, wrote it.
Yep.
Being someone who's read a lot of his shit, that was just pure, just Warren through and through. Holy fuck! It's like,
Brutal.
well, just the dialogue. Like I was just like, this sounds like Warren's just talking right now.
Let's walk through it. The first episode, we find that this woman is walking into this big castle,
Yep.
looking for more information on how to heal the sick, and she finds that the castle is inhabited by
Vlad Tepes.
Vlad Tepes, based on Vlad the Impaler, the actual name.
Tepes.
Yeah, yeah. And turns out he is Dracula, and then we skip forward a few years where she's at the stake burning
Yeah. Which
for being a witch. And how
she
did
was
you
a
guys
woman
feel?
doing things other than what women were doing at the time, so she was a witch.
Yeah, she was modern medicine. She was
Yeah.
curing people from illnesses and things, doing great things. But how did you guys feel that introducing their relationship and then leading into, like, jumping into Trevor and doing like a bar fight?
Well,
I think they set it up. I think they set up his motivations, Dracula or Vlad Tepes.
Well, yeah, it worked out fine because like you don't need to see, like you saw the start of the romance. You didn't need to see the full goddamn thing.
And then it left for the season finale.
Then she dies, and then you get fucking Vlad's fucking rage.
Yep.
They'll be back here in 1 year. 1 year later, Trevor. It makes sense.
I'm liking the idea that Trevor is like a belligerent kind of drunk kind of guy, and he's
It's the last of an exiled family.
He's
Yeah.
mad at the church for excommunicating them, and it was
Yep.
his family that was like held the darkness at bay.
they did a lot with the story and the characters that were in Symphony of the Night and Dracula's Curse.
This series is supposed to be
3 and 4, right? Or
just 3.
3
I
and
thought
a
it was
little bit of
3 into 4. I think
Symphony
that's
of the
what they were
Night. A
saying.
little bit of Symphony of the Night because of Alucard.
It was in 3, wasn't it?
He was, and so is, but Grant wasn't in this. But they have yet to introduce Grant from Dracula's Curse, and they had the magician. I forgot her name. What was the
The seer?
Sypha or Sypha?
Or whatever, the seeker, seer.
She's a magician, yeah.
Yeah.
They were witches originally, weren't they? But like, they called them seekers in the show for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know if they,
Or mages.
because it's been a while since I played Dracula's Curse. I don't know if they title her as. I think she's just like a magician.
Yeah. At least, yeah. In
But-
the show, they're just seers.
They call her a sorceress.
They call her a witch. They call her
Yeah.
everything.
But
But they have
but
yet to.
I seem to remember when I read the like description or whatever when they were coming out with it, or that they had said it was supposed to be 3 and 4.
3 and 4.
I think so. Like going forward. Like I'm not.
Oh, I see.
Isn't 4 a different Belmont?
I honestly don't know.
I can't remember.
I honestly don't know. I thought it
I
was
looked
2
up
games.
the lineage.
I thought it was 2 games, and I know 3 was one of them. So
I know that Simon is the child of Sypha and Trevor. I'm pretty sure. Super Castlevania 4, you mean?
Yeah, you're Simon in Castlevania 4.
So you are the son of Sypha and
Trevor.
Trevor. And yeah, Super Castlevania 4 is regarded as like one of the best Super Nintendo games.
Oh, I love Super Castlevania 4. I honestly like the traditional Castlevanias more than the the Metroidvania style ones.
Okay.
Like,
I know
that's,
what you
that's
mean.
why I really liked
Metroidvania.
the first Lords of Shadow, is because it reminded me so much of the original Castlevanias, where it was just like a level progression game. It was more about learning the levels and how to beat the enemies than just like, you know, grinding enough experience to get enough money and all that stuff to get enough gear to fight the bosses.
Yeah, there's a lot of gear.
I like the Metroidvania games; they're fun.
Yeah, they are.
apparently I was just making
But-
that shit up.
Okay.
It was just 3.
I just like the traditional Castlevanias more.
Yeah, I do too. I like wall chicken. I like all that stuff.
Wall chicken's good.
Dude, wall
Wall
chicken
roast beef.
ain't nothing tastier
Torch
than a good
beef.
old fucking wall chicken.
Torch beef is
Torch
better.
beef, dude.
Torch beef is okay.
That was my nickname for my penis.
Torch
Gross.
beef. I smell like beef.
Ugh.
So you ready for Universal's Van Helsing reboot with Channing Tatum?
Gambit?
They're eyeing Channing Tatum for the Van Helsing reboot. And
They-
that would be
They
within
eye
their...
Channing Tatum for everything.
I know. They asked him about at Comic-Con, asked him about Gambit, and, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we're working on it right now." I was like, "What the bullshit?"
No.
But it's one of those working on it right now, and it's like we're still trying to figure shit out. They're saying like, "Oh, we were starting to get somewhere," and then there's the whole paradigm shift with fucking Deadpool and Wolverine or in Logan. So then we started thinking we could do some more stuff. And
Continuing on to Castlevania, there was a lot of good throwbacks to like fighting the Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun. That fight was so great.
Yep.
There was the what Sypha did with the wall of ice. Was it?
To block
yeah,
the
to
demons.
block
To
in
block
the
the demons,
demons.
and then Simon and everybody was like doing like pincer moves on him, and like
Mm-hmm.
great strategy.
Having them rub the blades down in salt.
It was a
Yep.
nice touch.
They did a lot of cool tactics that you find that Trevor's more of a tactical fighter
Mm-hmm.
throughout the show, and then him and Sypha go off on their own thing, and they find the coffin of Alucard, which was the fruits of the love from the beginning of the first episode,
Mm-hmm.
where you see that he has a revenge against his dad now for not following his mom's advice and like being like overcoming that. You know, she was murdered.
Being
Right.
a real jerk.
Yeah, but
I,
he's just too like he's angry. He's an angry guy.
This is off topic, but the Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Warner Brothers Pictures is mulling over the idea of replacing Ben Affleck as Batman,
Really?
which I think is stupid.
Yeah.
I think he's a great Batman.
He's a good Batman. He's a good Bruce Wayne.
He's
This
got
is-
he's got the chin.
He's got that
He's
butt
got
chin.
the chin. Most importantly, he's got the chin for that goddamn cowl.
Who?
Is his like alcoholism getting?
No.
Has he got that under control now?
It's got nothing to do with that. It's just that like
Good, I suppose.
it's just because he all the pressure from it and
Christian
which
Bale.
led to him
It's gonna be Christian Bale.
Oh, I hope not.
just which got him had him drop out of directing, and Matt Reeves took over, and they're not even using his script anymore that him and Jeff Johns and people worked on. They're doing a new script, which would make sense with a new director, but like, and so there's this rumor that he's not happy how it's like shaping up, but it also could realistically be because he's getting kind of old, but like. There's still the studio's still saying that Ben's our Batman.
Ben's our boy.
We love him as Batman. Want to keep him in the cowl as long as we can.
Did you-
Like,
did
that's a
you-
direct quote. Yeah, that's a
Keep him in the
direct quote.
cowl.
The cowl. Yeah,
Keep him in the cowl.
but I don't know. I think it'd be stupid. I think he's a good Batman. Can't. He wasn't the problem with Batman vs Superman.
No, he wasn't the problem.
Terrible editing was the problem with that goddamn movie.
Cutting, yep.
Yeah.
Maybe cinematography. I don't know.
But yeah,
There were some
I mean,
cool
if you
shots.
don't like the Snyder style too, I get that.
It's
but
very bombastic and
for the Dark Knight Returns,
he's becoming his own Bay.
yeah, right. Yeah, it is. Michael Bay's like explosions and fucking
Snyder's like slow mo,
dark and gritty,
epic and gritty.
saturated.
Yeah, desaturation.
But like, I get that. I get why people don't like that. But I mean, for the story he was telling, that Dark Knight Returns influenced story, it should have been dark. Like that was kind of the purpose,
And it's the death of Superman.
right? And the death of Superman. But I mean, you know, Justice League's happening, and like, and the Hot Toys who makes like stupid fucking intricate detailed like figures. They're usually like about a foot tall. They unveiled their Justice League ones at Comic-Con or whatever, and they unveiled their Superman one, and people noticed right away his suit is brighter. Like it's actually like Superman colors. Which yeah, cool. It's I don't care about brightness. I don't care about happy joy really with my superhero movies, but some people do.
Yeah, I like the feeling that it invokes like the actual comic strip.
Well, right, which it did to me for the
Maybe the themes, but
with
not
the-
like the color, like the
well for
vibrant.
for like Dark Knight and shit. It did. I mean, sure, Superman in Dark Knight was standard Superman colors, But I mean, that's because he always is. That's the thing. But that was like the most like accurate bat suit that we've had.
How do you feel about the Watchmen? Let's just keep going DC route.
Watchmen, I am going against the nerd grain and would probably get crucified by some people.
Yeah.
But I like the ending of the movie way better than the book.
It still had the same effect of like it's all for naught.
The ending of the movie makes sense.
The end of the movie was accurate to
The
be
end of
like
the book does not make sense.
it was. The creature from outer space.
Here's fucking, and not just one. They're all over the fucking world.
Right. They just get like sucked
Fucking
from a
vagina
different-
mouth, fucking
Yep.
octopus things get dropped on fucking cities and destruction happens from another universe. Like, that does not play into the rest of the book
You're right.
at all. I
But
mean, there's some talk here and there.
Completely out of left field.
But in the movie, it's where I'm going to set off a bunch of explosions around the world, and they're all going to have the same energy signature as Dr. Manhattan. That makes fucking sense.
But the kill the millions to save billions kind of mentality was in the book and in the
Oh, yeah.
movie at the same
Yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
And it
The-
still was
other
all
than
for naught
that-
because
Other
Rorschach's
than
journal.
that, to whether it's to a fault or not, that was shot for shot. Like, that was shot for shot the book for the most part. So like, and a lot of people call Watchmen unfilmable. Especially
They did it.
well, but I mean like
They tried.
meaning like it can never be a good movie. Like that's what they mean. It's like an Alan Moore, but it's Alan Moore because he's a fucking stodgy old bastard. But he's like, would not make a good movie. I didn't write it to be a movie. I wrote it for this specific form of.
He's
being
just
very-
pretentious.
Yeah, exactly. He's very pretentious. But I enjoyed it, and like I said, it was pretty much shot for shot the goddamn book, almost.
They had the same
I
characters.
mean, like there's a lot of shit throughout the book, like
like Under the Hood.
Under the Hood, which they made into an animated movie,
The
and the
Black Rock.
Curse of the Black, whatever.
Was it Black Rock or something like that?
I don't know.
The pirate guy.
Yeah, that they made into an animated movie as well. And there's actually a Watchmen supercut, like ultimate cut, that works those into where they would be in the story. So if you wanted it to be even more fucking shot for shot, there it is.
You got it. I mean, it's a labor of love, I think, and which is great. I'm glad Zack Snyder was
Just like
happy to do it. I just know I was excited for the movie.
right, just like Batman vs Superman though, director's cut's the way to go.
Oh yeah, same with Blade Runner.
Yeah. The director's cut of Watchmen is awesome. Like, I really liked Watchmen. The fucking director's cut's awesome. Awesome. I'll throw
Fucking
a fucking
smoking hot.
fucking Boston. Fucking
Boston.
awesome. Like, that's fucking
Wicked.
awesome.
You got to throw Wicked in there.
Fucking wicked awesome.
Wicked.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I played the video games too. The End Is Nigh. Because
Oh, yeah, how was that?
I was so into Watchmen when the movie was coming out. I was like, I got to reread the comic, and I read it. And I was like, I got to play this game. And I played it. And I watched the movie. I'm like, I'm gonna play the game now.
The Watchmen are actually coming back in the books.
Rorschach's dead.
So you know at the end where Manhattan fucks off?
He's gonna recreate Rorschach in his own image.
When he says like I might like
Think I'll go
become
make
bored
life.
with life, maybe I'll go create my own or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's insinuated then. Well, 5 years ago, DC did the New 52, where they kind of relaunched their universe, and superheroes had only been around for 5 years, and a bunch of shit didn't happen, and people weren't known, and so it was like it was a reboot. It didn't work out so hot, so they did Rebirth, and it was kind of taking the good parts of New 52, but infusing the best parts of the old, like, stories and stuff into it. And what's really cool is they kind of cued in into the by saying, like, it was like something happened, like we're missing time. We know something's wrong, like things are different than they were, like that think people it's starting.
These
to
are just like subtle hints of like what's to come throughout the
subtle
series.
and not so subtle.
Like, just like
So, I mean, they pretty much end. There's the DC Rebirth special, where well, the big thing that happened in it was Wally West, the Flash.
yeah.
In the New 52, Wally West was gone, but then he came back and he was a young black child. And
I'm a young black child. I was
Yeah,
born a poor black child.
yeah, that's what I was thinking when I said that. They so like old Wally was gone essentially, and that was one of the big things that people missed about it was just Wally. It wasn't anything against the what they did with Wally in it. It was just for a lot of people Wally West was their Flash. So he had been Flash since 1989 or 1990. So it was like, that was people's Flash. So they weren't too happy that he was gone and then replaced with someone completely different. But then in the DC Rebirth special, he emerges from the Speed Force. And he was just like... And he's the one who was just like, he's going to his different friends and shit, like Dick and like different like Titans and shit like that. Trying to get them to recognize him essentially, so he can fucking.
So people have like amnesia, maybe.
And he's just like, don't you remember me? Like fucking, there's something wrong. Time is missing. Like we're missing.
Alternate universe.
Like because like I'm younger, I shouldn't be this whatever. Like all this shit. The heartbreaking thing was he goes to his wife Linda, and she doesn't recognize him or anything.
How sad.
And his last ditch effort, which should have been his first, was he went to Barry.
He killed himself. What?
To Barry Allen.
Okay.
His mentor.
His last ditch effort is like, I'm going
His
to
mentor,
kill myself.
his uncle, for all intents and purposes, and he's about to disappear, and then Barry remembers. He remembers him. So then Wally is, and then there's the big kind of tearjerker moment where they're like embracing, and Barry's like, "How could I ever forget you?" type of shit, and whatever. But at the end of that,
That's for the fans.
yeah. And
could I ever
because it's
forget
like
you?
he represented bringing the old DC spirit back.
Oh, okay. Wally?
It's kind of what that represented. Yeah.
I remember you.
And bringing the heart back. And
So it's kind of like I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. Seems a lot like It's a Wonderful Life.
huh?
It's a Wonderful Life. Frank
Oh, yeah.
Capra. It's like George wishes he was never born. He goes to a place where he sees his wife and is an old maid, and he goes to his family. He goes to all the people that he recognizes, but they don't know him.
Yeah, take that, except the wishing you weren't there part away.
Right. And, Joseph and the stars and
Yeah.
the God. Yeah.
And then like,
Very tearjerking.
but at the end of the issue, they talk about Wally's dad's watch or whatever that he has, that's broken or whatever, and then you see like the watch, and it kind of pans out, and then you see the watch like
No.
disassemble and shit, and you see it's on Mars.
Holy shit.
and then in the background these bubbles start popping in the thought boxes, and they're quotes from the conversation between Dr. Manhattan and Ozymandias, and then it ends like on that, and then it's really,
I just like to imagine he's in solitude on Mars
but
forever.
the theory is that when Manhattan fucked off at the end, what he did was create the New 52 universe.
Holy shit, that's a good idea.
That he was the one who changed everything, who made everything different.
That's an interesting idea. I like that idea.
And they were talking about how it was like the whole thing with a lot with the New 52 was a lot of gritty and dark stories, and what better to encapsulate that than one of the books that ushered that in, that gritty, realistic darkness that was Watchmen.
Yeah.
And so it's like it was that storytelling taking control of the DC universe and making it like that. And then, I don't know, but it's coming to a head starting in November, I think, is when the event's called Doomsday Clock. And Superman
Interesting.
comes face to face with Manhattan.
That's a great cliffhanger. Like if that was put into like a show.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was nuts. When I read it, I was just like,
Damn.
I mean,
Brodsho just like shook his head with his eyes closed.
yeah, I had already read the spoilers for it,
With that low grunt.
but like it didn't change the fact when reading it, it was still just like,
Got the heart palpies.
yeah, dude. It was some crazy. So like the Watchmen characters are going to be back, and not just Manhattan. There's a character running around right now in Superman called Mr. Oz, who may or may not be Ozymandias.
Well, do you know Ozymandias in the comic book was like in a competition where it was like the uneven bars? Do you remember that scene when
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
watching
yeah.
him on TV and he was doing gymnastics?
Yep.
Maybe he goes with Nightwing or Dick and Flying Graysons or something.
One of the things he teased.
Microphone.
One of the things Jeff Johns, the writer, teased was meeting of the smartest people in the two different universes, and he was saying the smartest person in main DC world, Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And he's like, but that's all I'm gonna say. So I'm like, so we're talking about Lex Luthor and fucking Veep meeting, aren't we? Fucking Ozymandias, because that's the obvious
Yeah.
other smartest dude.
Yeah.
Seeing those two meet would be a trip.
Well, do you think he still got Bubastis?
No, maybe. I hope they bring back Bubastis, but
That was a good kitty. It was a good big old kitty.
right, I got so sad.
It got vaporized? Yeah. That was pretty sad.
Yeah, dude.
Poor Kit Kat.
That was
Well,
a bummer.
before we change topics, we're gonna just talk one more interesting topic, that is Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Sean, did you watch Game of Thrones?
Dude, I haven't watched Game of Thrones since season 4.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about this season.
Okay.
How did you think the first episode went?
It was okay. I didn't think it was that good, but
Yeah.
I found out via fucking Facebook, don't say an episode of Game of Thrones isn't good.
Oh, I'm gonna do it for the next episode, so I can piggyback on you then,
Yeah.
and then you can be like, "Shut the fuck up, Tyler."
I just don't. Yeah, it was just.
I thought it was good.
It wasn't bad.
No, there was scenes, and I get where you're coming from. Definitely, that there wasn't enough to keep you captivated throughout the episode. But
It
like
works in a full season way. It doesn't work in an episode.
in an episode way, no, it doesn't. I can see that going into what they previewed for the next episode, but
They do the Thrones thing where there's something really cool that happens at the beginning, something mildly
it's called a
entertaining in
bait
the
and
middle.
switch. Yeah.
Yeah. and
Here's a
then-
cool thing, and then it's all exposition.
Yeah, and then the ending just is like, oh, what's coming now? And that's what they do
Cliffhanger.
for everything.
Yeah.
And
I think that
it's-
ending was too long for the get go. Like, oh, she sees her. She's approaching
Dude,
her house.
I give them credit for that because they do that scene in goddamn every season
Yeah.
of here's Daenerys and dragons end.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't go here's Daenerys and dragons end. They went here's Daenerys and dragons, go up in there and start talking a little bit.
Just saying, shall we begin?
Yeah, but that was like more than what they usually do. Usually it's just it would have ended on that shot of the three dragons going up around the castle.
The first season ended, if you remember, Sean. The first season ended with Daenerys rising from the smoke and fire from her dead husband, and then a dragon screeches like, "Ah!" And then the second season ends with dragons getting a little bigger and screeching at the end. "Ah!"
But as it goes along too, it not only ends with a Daenerys scene at the end of the season, it ends on the first episode too. They do a big fucking Daenerys thing too.
Every
Every
final
season.
season. Yeah, it's
Every
a
season.
big Daenerys
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, and this one was the cool Arya scene.
Great Arya scene with
Yeah.
the phrase and
The fucking Mission Impossible fucking.
Yeah.
That was cool.
They set up a lot of stuff with Arya going, and there was a really ham-fisted scene where she meets the Lannister men.
Yeah,
and
with
they're
Ed
like
Sheeran.
with Ed Sheeran. But I heard that the song he was singing was foreshadowing something to come.
Probably.
To. I mean, they don't do that for anything. They don't.
Right.
They don't throw in something like that so you can be like,
We're just gonna have
this
Ed
is
Sheeran
pointless.
sing. I don't know if you picked up that burp. It was a tasty
Maybe.
burp. Tasted like a Whopper.
You're making me hungry.
I had one before I came here. Because it was that Arya scene, and
The
then
hound scenes.
there was it Stark's first or was it Lannister's first?
Starks.
Oh yeah, because then John rifled off Winters here a couple times.
Yep.
And
And
then we need to be
You
prepared.
refuse the coal.
Yeah, we need to be prepared for the shit that's gonna pop off. Your
Sansa
new leaders
being-
are a bunch of children.
Yeah,
Sansa being like, "Oh,
John, don't you gotta listen to me. These kids are stupid.
Yeah, and John just like, "You're stupid."
Yeah,
And-
basically.
yeah,
Sibling,
and then-
sibling rivalry.
Tormund awkwardly hits on fucking Brienne for a second, and then it goes to the Lannisters then, and then they're talking about how they have to get ready for shit to pop off and how all their kids are dead, and
Everybody's walking around
Jamie
naps.
says Winter's here, and then it goes to. Does it go to next? Does it go to Sam's thing? Or it goes back to that Arya thing, and then it goes to Sam.
Poop montage.
Sam fucking
Being a poop
doing
shoveler.
his shit. Yeah, literally doing his shit.
Yeah.
And then fucking... Which was mildly entertaining. And then in the end, which was Daenerys showing up at her fucking familial home.
Yep.
And then walking into the fucking war room and just, okay, it's time to get ready for shit to pop off. It was it was an episode of everybody being like, all right, this is what just happened to us. We have to be ready for shit to pop off.
There's some interesting stuff with Jorah. Interesting stuff with Sandor Clegane.
That was the second. The Jorah Mormont, like when he just stuck his hand out.
He's like, is the queen here?
Yeah,
Not yet.
That's the,
You gotta
I
wait,
don't know-
buddy.
I don't know if you could qualify that as interesting. It was just
You
like,
just know that
his
he's-
arm scaling.
You just
now.
know that he's there and that he's gonna get cured.
Yeah, that's all we know.
Yeah.
That was just, here he is. Yeah, you saw the scene of Sandor Clegane walking with people.
But you know that him and Tormund are gonna meet up at the east
Talking
watch
about
by
shit
the
about to
sea.
pop off. We know too. We're pretty sure, almost 100%. Well, from the trailers, we're getting fucking Clegane Bowl, finally. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm pretty sure you see that in one of the trailers. Like,
Okay.
this is the start of it.
I hope so. That'd be great.
Because you see him being a fucking mindless piece of shit too in the throne room.
Well, we'll hopefully talk at length of the next episode to see what Brodsho's thinking. Then maybe I'll switch
Yeah, we got
places
one
with
coming
you.
up on Sunday.
Yeah,
We'll see.
2 days. So we'll be back and we'll maybe be talking a continuing talk about all this stuff.
Mayhaps.
Bye.
Oh, goodbye.
Right.